Hi everyone. So someone commented and asked me for a Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Concealer tutorial. So I did do like a review on this. Mine is an SC5. I think I've seen some people who are my skin tone who use the SC3. I prefer SC5, may just be personal preference. I think that the colors fit my purposes a little better. However, the problem for some people is the fact that they don't know how to use these. So these can actually be hard to work with. They're almost like really stiff cake concealer, which is exactly why they're so great to cover up really problem areas, but that does mean that it makes it really hard to work with. So I kind of wanted to start by showing you the things that I do to kind of like help me use this a little better. The first thing I like to do is heat up the area that I'm going to use. So I just use my clean finger, just wash my hand, and I start heating up the area that I'm going to put my brush in. It just kind of helps me out with this concealer because it can be very dry, it can be very stiff. Again, this is not a concealer that I would use under my eyes. I said this in the review video. It is very cakey. It's only good for me to use for like this area here where I have a lot of like acne scars. This is really great for that. So I heat up the area I'm going to use. I do the same on the other side. As you can see, it's already looking pretty creamy there. Can you see it? Nope. There you go, right in the center. Anyway, so I do the same thing on the other side, heat it up with my fingers just to kind of get it to where I need it to be so it's a little easier to work with. I do that for a little while, work with it. Honestly, it seems like a lot of work, but for the concealing that it does for really problem areas, for me, it's worth it. I really do not care. So rather than waste what I have on my fingers, sometimes I'll put it on my face to just kind of start off like, okay, put it there, use the other one, blend it in a little bit, use my brush, kind of blend that in. And as you can see, that's leaving a little bit of a line. So then I use my other finger, again, clean hands, and blend that in a little more. And then I've concealed a, slightly troublesome area for me. I can't speak English today, apparently. So there's one fix. Another thing that I like to do is I will take my concealer brush and spray it with my MAC Fix Plus. Go ahead and spray that. I just sprayed my brush, and then I start dipping in here. And it just kind of makes this easier to work with. One thing is that because you're introducing water to your concealer, and this is something that goes on your face and you just put your fingers into, I sanitize this with a couple of sprays of alcohol as soon as I'm done using it because I don't want any bacteria to grow because I'm putting this on my face and I really don't need any more acne. So just so you know, I sanitize my concealer brush and this one with alcohol, and this one I clean in the sink with my brush cleaner. So I've got a little bit of product on there. I find my problem area. Okay, here we go. And then, I'll use my finger or the brush, depending on how I'm feeling that day. I really have no rhyme or reason to what I do most of the time, but it's like, oh, I've got a spot, I'll cover that up, maybe use my finger. And see what I mean? Like, it blends in really nicely, and then especially when I put in the other color, because this is a little closer to my skin tone, it really, really blends that in super nicely. Like blend that in with my finger a little more. Maybe use my clean finger so I'm not putting any more product on there. And then once I put powder on, it really, really blends everything into my foundation. So I'm already wearing foundation right now. Usually I'll do the concealing and then the foundation work, which really makes everything tie a little better. But I'm really just trying to show you my tricks for trying to make this work because some people do find it troublesome. And that's the problem. Over time, it gets drier, it gets stiffer, it gets harder to work with. But if you warm it up with your finger first and then work with it, and then wet your brush, your concealer brush, with something like Fix Plus. I think some people use their own stuff like a mixing medium that they made at home with some glycerin, and that's fine. You just need a little bit of like moisture to get in there and swish it around a little bit, make it easier to work with, dilute it a little bit, make it just something that's not going to look cakey or unnatural. So that's how I use my Laura Mercier concealer. So if you guys have any tips that I haven't thought of, I'd love to hear them. And hopefully to the person who commented and anyone else who has been wondering how to successfully use this, this has been helpful. So I'm actually going to go spray this with my alcohol now because I am a total freak about how clean my products are. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!